Check out Say Where Ideas Take Shape. Thoughts find up and every conversation explores the art of thinking beyond the obvious. And today I have my special guest. She's email marketing expert and direct response copywriter. No other than Miss Tanya Brody.
Thank you for having me, Daniel.
Welcome, welcome, Miss Tanya. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Sure. So I am a direct response copywriter and email marketing consultant, which basically means I am the person who writes all of your emails. I also teach people how to write their own emails. And the goal is to really build a relationship with your subscribers and your customers so that they want to hear from you, so that they're interested in what you have to say, and so that they buy your products and services.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Miss Tanya. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And today let's talk about how to start and grow your own email list so you can make more sales. So tell us what it's all about.
So, first of all, I just want to say that everyone seems to think that email marketing is dead, that social media is the place to be. I'm just going to be honest. Social media is great for getting people onto your email list. The problem is social media is crazy noisy. Think of social media like being at the club, right? And you're in the middle of the dance floor and people are sort of thrashing around and you're trying to have a conversation going, "What? What did you say? I can't hear you." Whereas your email marketing list, your actual email list, is more like someone inviting you into their living room for a cup of tea and a chat. They are genuinely interested in what it is that you have to say because they raised their hand and said, "Yes, I want to hear from you." And they are interested in what you're offering because whatever brought them to you actually inspired them to say, to sign, to give you their email address. So I think it's a really important distinction to say, yes, social media is great, but you really need your own email list as well because it's a much more direct connection with people, and your social media can disappear in a second. Your account can be deleted. Your account can be hacked, which has happened to clients of mine. Um, you can uh, be banned for any number of reasons, many of which would not be your fault. And then suddenly, poof, your audience is gone. Whereas if you have an email list of those people who are genuinely interested in you, you're going to have a much easier time staying in communication with them because that's yours. That's your real estate, if you will. And those people will not leave until they choose to hop off of your list or they become a customer and you put them on a slightly different list. So that is the beauty of email marketing is it gives you a much more direct connection to your customer base. Now, if you've never done email marketing before, you're probably thinking, "Oh my gosh, how do I start this?" So there's a really simple way to start, and that is find 100 people or 50 people or even 25 people that you know already, you have their email addresses, and that you think they would either be interested in what you're doing or they have they know someone who might be interested in what you're doing. And you send out an email saying, "Hey, I'm starting this thing." So if you're brand new, you can say, "Hey, I'm starting this brand new business and I'm going to be writing about it every week in my emails. I would love it if you would join me." And then when please respond to say, "Yes, I'm interested," or "No, I don't want to be on your list." And when those people respond, you just put a little check, yes or no, next to their name in a spreadsheet. And that's your first email list. And then you start writing to those people. And then you can set up the lead magnet. So the thing that people would want to download. and the form and the landing page and all of the stuff that goes with that. But it gives you the chance to just start, so you have someone to write to. And I actually have an entire guide on how to do this. And Daniel, I will happily share that link with you, so you have something that very special that I don't necessarily give to everyone, that you can give to your audience.
Definitely. Miss Tanya, so beyond general advice of provide value, what does truly irresistible lead magnet look like today?
So, in my opinion, even, and I know everyone says that lead magnets don't work anymore, but they do. I think they do. I still get people opting into my lead magnet. Um, the best thing a lead magnet can do is solve a small problem or a small piece of a problem that someone has. Pat Flynn, who's one of my favorite people to follow, describes it as a small, quick win. So give them a small thing that will solve part of the problem that they've got, and then they can do really fast. So they're like, oh, hey, this actually works. Then they'll want to keep going with what it is that you offer. Now, another thing that I also do that I really like as another potential lead magnet is a quiz, or an assessment, something that gives people useful information, not just, like what's your favorite, chocolate, or what's your favorite superhero, but what are the, some a survey that actually shows someone how to solve the problem that they have. Those can be really useful. Those are probably my two favorite kinds of lead magnets personally. I know there are a lot of other kinds out there. On my website, you will see that I have a quiz, and I also have a lead magnet that is a list of 30 subject lines to keep your subscribers opening and reading your emails. Because for a lot of people, their biggest problem is starting to write. They don't know what to write about. So the small problem that I am helping them with is I'm giving them a subject line and a writing prompt so they can start writing. So there's a good example of a small, quick win. I'm not giving them the entire thing. If they want that, they can go to one of my courses, or they can join my email writing accountability group. But that one small piece will at least get them started. And I know people who have downloaded that and they just use it over and over and over because it's recyclable. You can change out the idea and use the same approximate subject line. So it's both something that adds value and that people could genuinely use, but it's not necessarily solving their entire problem, because I give a lot more information about how to write emails in my 30-minute email workshop. And I actually show people how to write their emails, and I give them a review of their email every week in my email writing accountability group. So you can see how those build on each other.
Let's start the very beginning. For someone who's overwhelmed or thinks, I don't have anything to email about, what is the single most important first step to just started?
Write down the 5 most common questions people ask you about your product or service. Just write them down. You probably know them by heart because you've been asked so many times, and you probably have an answer that you could literally talk into your phone or talk into a recorder of some sort, and then transcribe that, and that's your first email. You already know this information. That's the easiest way to start writing. What is the information that everyone wants, that everyone wants? Write that and start sending that.
Many people are scared of being too salesy. How do you shift a mindset from annoying people with emails to providing welcome service?
So, my one of my favorite copywriters is a fellow named Nick Usborne, and his motto is help, 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 sell. So start by helping, offer something of value. For example, answering that question about your product or service is helpful. You're giving people information that they genuinely want, that they need to make a decision. Um, if you have another resource that you can have people download, let's pretend that you run a bicycle shop and um, people come in via whatever lead magnet you have, but now they need to think about repairing the brakes on their bicycle. So maybe you have a downloadable guide that tells people how to repair the brakes on their bicycle. So you offer that. You say, hey, it's almost bicycle season, and I know that there are people who are worried about not having good brakes. So this week, I just want to offer you my free guide. Go here to download it, and then you can also tag people in your email service provider or content customer relationship management software. So like, Drip or HubSpot or whatever it is that you use. And then who's interested in repairing their bicycles, specifically their brakes. And you can send those people a special coupon to either come in for service or on parts they'll need. That way, you're not annoying anyone who doesn't care about their brakes, but the people who do care about their brakes are getting something of genuinely of use to them. And then they're getting the opportunity to go, oh, yeah, you guys do my brakes? Yes. Let me bring you my bicycle. Or, oh, hey, I can order these parts from you. Great. Take my money.
Interesting, Miss Tanya. So, how can someone leverage their existing social media following to drive email signups without saying link in bio?
So the simple way to do it is actually, if you look at my website right here, I have some link there that says newsletter. And Daniel, if you're able to click on that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Definitely.
yeah, so right there where it says newsletter, that's what I'm doing. And if you scroll down, you'll see that I actually am publishing all of the emails that I send um, every week on my newsletter. And you'll see that there's a way for people to sign up right there. So right now, that's another lead magnet that I have coming in. And I promote that every week on social media. I just link to that week's new newsletter. Also, if you see, there is a link right there. Keep scrolling, Daniel, right there where it says get your free guide on the right,
Yes.
get your free guide down. That's a link to my uh, subject line. There you go. That's the free list. So put it on your website, talk about it on social media, link to it on social media. Obviously, if you're on Facebook, you have to put the link in the comments. Yes, you do have to put the link in the bio if you're on Instagram. But you know what? There are a lot of places that you can promote this that people are very interested in. On my Facebook business profile, I have a link to this is my image on my cover image, and people can click on that and get right here. There are a lot of different ways you can do this. You can also link to it in your regular emails. So if you're emailing someone about, ordering those bicycle parts, um, you can put that link into your signature. There are a lot of different ways to promote on social media and in just life in general. Spread the word and have your people who are your customers spread the word too. Hey, my friends down at such and such bicycle shop just fixed my brakes and they are awesome. They're giving away their free guide. Go here. And then there's another way for people to get into your system. So really, it's all about using your social media to drive people to your email list. So it's easier for you to talk to those people on a regular basis. Now, will there be some people who are just like, nope, I'm here on social media? Great, they can hang out on social media. For example, that newsletter that you just saw, I also published that on LinkedIn because there are people who just they don't want to leave LinkedIn. But on LinkedIn, if I publish on LinkedIn, I can keep the link in the post as opposed to having to put it in the comments because then people are staying on LinkedIn's platform. They're still getting the same information And there are a lot of links back to my website in those newsletters. So there are plenty of ways you can get people into your system without having to run ads, without having to worry about sounding too salesy. Remember, you are serving people. The whole point of running a business is to help people solve the problem they have, to literally be of service. And if you keep that mindset when you're writing, when you're selling, when you're creating your product, whatever it is you're doing, that's going to come through in everything you do. There's a huge difference between buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, and how can I help you today? How can I help you get from point A to point B to whatever it is your goal is, if that's your ultimate dream or just fixing your bicycle brakes?
Miss Tanya, what is the most common mistake people make in their email marketing that's silently killing their sales potential?
Not emailing. That is the biggest mistake people make. And it's a two-part mistake. Either they don't have a list at all, in which case, Daniel, I'm giving you the link to my free guide so you can start your own email list. Or they start emailing and then they stop. They don't keep up this relationship because this is a relationship. You may not hear from every single person on your email list, but at least once a week, I hear back from someone on my email list thanking me for something I wrote in my newsletter or asking about a product or service that I offer. So there's a relationship going on there that you need to nurture, because maybe someone's bicycle brakes are fine right now, but next spring they're going to be like, oh crap, I need to actually fix my brakes this year. Where is that link from that bicycle shop that I like that's online? And if you're sending another email going, hey, don't forget it's spring, it's time to fix your bicycle brakes, they'll be like, there it is, click. So it's a time thing. This is email marketing is not always an immediate result. Sometimes it's a long-term result. But the goal is to have enough new people coming in and enough people who are on your list saying, oh yeah, I'm ready now, that you have a steady stream of customers, as opposed to a feast or famine situation, which a lot of businesses end up in.
With the evolving landscape of privacy laws and email providers, what is one thing every lease owner should be doing now to future proof for their most valuable asset?
First of all, using an opt-in like this one on the screen, having people say, yes, I want this thing. That is one of the biggest things right there. People giving you permission to come into their inbox, as opposed to sending cold email, which, depending on the country, can be illegal, as opposed to buying email lists. Because people who don't want to hear you are going to mark you as spam. And once that starts happening, your email service providers and your ISPs, your internet service providers like Gmail, like Yahoo Mail, like Apple Mail, are going to start marking your domain as junk, as spam. And that means all of your emails are going to go into the spam folder. You're going to get blacklisted, which can actually lead to you not being able to send anything from that email address. I know people this has happened to, like not able to email their mother or their siblings. That's bad. So you want to protect that. You want to use an email service provider like HubSpot, like Drip, like MailChimp, whatever it is you want to use. And you want to only email people who've said they want to hear from you. That is going to protect your sender reputation, and it's going to help make sure that your emails end up in people's inboxes where they will read them.
So, Miss Tanya, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too, comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well, geography 101 fourth season, and my baby podcast, Law 101, mental health 101, and Bible verses 101. Movie 101 review, music 101 as well, our fourth season, and science 101 and sex 101 in its second season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Tanya, to wrap up our question, if could only give one piece of advice to someone who wants to start an email list today that will actually make sales a year from now, what would it be?
Start. Just get started. It takes time and accept that. But once you start doing it, you will start to see results. So honestly, it's just get started and take the time to do it every week. And I'm completely serious about this. I know some people like, oh my gosh, I have to write an email every single week. Once you get used to it, it's easy. You just get into the flow and you've got things going. That is actually what I help people do in my email writing accountability group. We write an email every single week. I review those emails for them. They have 20 minutes to edit those emails and then they're done. So once you get into the flow of it, you just keep going and people get used to hearing from you and they look forward to opening your emails. That is your goal because once they start doing that, they're going to start clicking and they're going to start buying.
Miss Tanya Brody, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So can you
Thank you
please invite our
so much.
listeners to support your advocacy, your projects, or anything you want to promote on Abstract Essay?
So, well, like I said, I'm going to send you that special get started guide to start your very own email list from scratch. And of course, download this list right here so you can get started writing those emails.
Yes, people, let's support Miss Tanya Brody because if you support her, for sure, more and more empowering email marketing will rise. So, Miss Tanya, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me, Daniel. I really appreciate it.
More to come, people. See you soon.